How would you define Kemetic Yoga?
Kemetic Yoga. So, Kemetic Yoga is a practice that originates out of ancient Kemet, which is like the area that we now call Egypt. But Egypt is the Greek name. It comes from Egyptos. So, Kemet, ancient Kemet, is like what the people of that land called the land. So, Kemet is Egypt and southern parts as well, like Kush Valley, Nile Valley civilizations. So if we go to the pyramids or we go into the temples there, you'll actually see folks doing yoga. So my teacher, Yasir Rahotep, he's out of Chicago. He's been teaching and training for over like 50 years. He brings folks to Egypt or Kemet. He brings folks to Jamaica, just all over the world to train us in basically what these folks were doing inside of these temple walls. So the main tenet of Kemetic Yoga is rule of 4 breathing, because we're really focused on bringing the breath up to the pituitary gland, which is like right here in between the eyebrows, and then the pineal gland, which is like the middle of your brain. So we bring this life force energy, this chi, if you will, up to the brain with the breath, find a pause, and then exhale through the nostrils, allowing all the chi to flow like through the fingertips and through the toes. So it's really about life force as breath and really activating those glands within our body to find a new space of consciousness. So it's holistic in that, yes, you're going to find the, properly eating and, moving of your body and things of that sort. But really the focus is on the breath, because the folks, we're so deliberate about life force and breath and oxygen to move the body and to access greater realms of consciousness through the pituitary gland and the pineal gland. So if you look at pictures or you look at some of the ancient art, you'll see like this wajet, or this snake coming out of the third eye center. And that's what the focus is. It's like, let me bring this breath up to this space where I know this pituitary gland is like this doorway to the subconscious mind. Really focus on pausing there. And then as I exhale, bringing this energy back through that special place and allowing this chi or this prana to flow through the fingertips and through the toes. So that's kind of what makes it different, in that there's a inhale, a pause, an exhale, and a pause. And then you visualize literally like what you might see in the art if you were to go to ancient Kemet. So
You mentioned breath, right? And I know a lot of practices speak about the importance of breath. Mm-hmm. How detrimental is our breathing pattern in our environment, in our current society?
Well, many of us are breathing very shallow. The lungs are like super, I don't want to say dirty, but just like a lot of us are doing shallow breathing. So we're just breathing from like the top of the lungs, opposed to having these long breaths where we're going to cleanse from the bottom of the lungs all the way to the top. So in Kemetic Yoga, we really focus on elongating the breath. So, it may be like 6 or 7 counts where we're exhaling, or 6 or 7 counts on the inhale, because we want to get to the bottom of the lung.
And when you are doing these breathing exercises, you're not necessarily focusing on anything, or you have some type of mantra or anything. You're just focusing on the breath.
Well, we do have a nice visualization. So not necessarily a mantra, but just inhaling, allowing the breath to come up, focusing on this third eye center, really focusing on the brain. And then as we exhale, feeling actually the sensation of the chi, of the energy, flowing through the extremities, like through the fingertips and through the toes. So it's like really conscious breath. And we place the tip of the tongue at the roof of the mouth. So that's something, the tongue to the roof of the mouth is like a very important connection in Kemetic Yoga, because it helps the right side of the brain and the left side of the brain sync. So that's another part that just makes it a little bit more deliberate in terms of the visualization, but not necessarily a mantra per se, but definitely seeing the cobra emerge in your mind's eye, emerge from this space, finding that pause, and then when you exhale, imagining this wajet or this cobra coming back in through the third eye and then flowing down through the rest of the body.